Penguin presents the Anna Karenina Fix, Life Lessons from Russian Literature, written and read by Viv Groskop. Introduction. I took a speed reading course and read War and Peace in 20 minutes. It involves Russia. Woody Allen. An enemy of baked goods of all kinds, Tolstoy was not one of those insufferable people who breeze through life unencumbered by frustration and angst. Comfortingly enough, he was a person who struggled to understand why, at times, life felt intensely painful, even when nothing that bad was happening. His empathy for the pain of the human condition is surprising in some ways because he lived a monastic existence and indulged in few, if any, pleasures. Unlike the rest of us, he really had very little to feel bad about. Tolstoy was very much not a donuts and beer kind of guy. He only ate cake if it was a family birthday, and then it had to be a particular cake, his wife's anchor pie, a sour lemon tart named after a family doctor. Mostly, he ate simply and repetitively. One of the researchers at the Tolstoy Museum at his estate in Yasnaya Polyana recently uncovered evidence of his 15 favourite egg dishes, which he ate in rotation. These included scrambled eggs with dill and peas with eggs. He didn't drink alcohol, he didn't eat meat, and yet he still frequently felt that he was a terrible person. Perhaps as a result of this tortured way of thinking, long before self-help manuals became hugely popular in the early 20th century, Tolstoy had already written one of his own. It was full of the sort of inspirational quotes we're now used to seeing on fridge magnets and as advertisements for mindfulness retreats. Some of the sayings are his own quotes. We only truly come alive in ourselves when we live for others. If a rich man is to be truly charitable, he will give away all his wealth as soon as possible. In itself, work is not a virtue, but it is an essential condition of a virtuous life. The other sayings are from writers and thinkers who inspired him. Rousseau, Plutarch, Pascal, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Emerson, John Ruskin, and Henry David Thoreau, among others, as well as quotations from the Talmud and the Bible. In Tolstoy's defense, A Calendar of Wisdom was deeply serious and well-meant. The book itself is calming, fascinating, and often unintentionally entertaining. If you are in the grip of carnal passions and overwhelmed by them, you will become entwined in the creeping bindweed of suffering. Buddhist wisdom. Bring on the carnal passions, I say. Worry about the bindweed later. Also known as a circle of readings or the thoughts of wise people, A Calendar of Wisdom consisted of a page of inspiring quotes for each day of the year, collected by Tolstoy over 16 years, and a popular edition was published in 1912, 2 years after his death. A lot of the quotes directly contradict the messages of today's self-help movement, which encourages us to devote ourselves passionately to the art of learning to love ourselves, or at the very least to move away from self-hate. In A Calendar of Wisdom, it's the other way round. Pride and a love of the self are wrong, and if we're going to hate anyone, we should hate ourselves. It literally says this. This sentiment is very typical of Tolstoy, who disliked doing anything pleasant, easy, or fun. Tolstoy prescribes an extreme ascetic way of life, where lustful desires are especially dangerous, and overeating is a sin because it denotes a lack of self-respect. Here are some of his other entries. On 4th of June, because Christianity has become perverted, we now lead a life that has become worse than a pagan's. Some of his edicts are painfully enigmatic. On 27th of October, the light remains the light, even though a blind man cannot see it. And anything relating to women is generally bad news. On 2nd of June, a woman has a great responsibility to give birth. But she doesn't give birth to ideas. That is the responsibility of men. Tolstoy saw these quotes as a guide to life at a time of crisis, a gathering of a circle of the best writers whose ideas would lead to salvation. As Roger Cockrell, translator of the latest edition of the calendar in English, writes, Tolstoy's overall aim is to urge us all to strive through unrelenting effort for self-improvement. I'm not saying that Tolstoy is Oprah Winfrey.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?